You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 6.
Right now, a shooter is on the loose. Sarasota police want to find the person who pulled the trigger in Newtown last night and sent someone to the hospital. It's hurricane preparedness week. What you can do now to stay safe if the storms come back to the Suncoast.
And then meet a local college student who was diagnosed with cancer before his second birthday. We're going to show you how he has now dedicated his life to helping others. We have those stories and more. Good Morning Suncoast starts right now.
And welcome back, 6 o'clock on Wednesday, May the 9th. I'm Ray Collins.
And I'm Stephanie Webb. Thanks for waking up with us this morning. And you are going to be waking up to another gorgeous day out there, right, John Scalzi?
You're absolutely right. We're starting off with some very pleasant temperatures across the region. Low relative humidity, maybe a degree or two cooler than it was just 24 hours ago. Cooper in central Sarasota, our youngest weather watcher, has 66 degrees. And Becky in Old Myakka, been with us for 20-some years, reports 58 degrees. Not a drop of rain falling anywhere on radar. It is quiet out there. We do have a line of clouds that stretches out into Atlantic waters. That's a little trough of low pressure, which will eventually try to work its way back north as a trough that'll bring us some rain showers perhaps as we head into the weekend. 64 degrees in Bradenton, Lakewood Ranch 65. You've got 65 in Sarasota, Myakka City 64. Northport, you're waking up to 66. Got double 68s in Venice and Inglewood and Longboat Key. You're coming in at 69. Expected daytime high temperature similar to yesterday, coming in around 90 degrees. We'll continue to monitor air quality index. UV index is high. So is the fire danger. All of those things will be covered in about 5 to 10 minutes. Back to you guys.
All right, talk to you soon. Thank you, John. Checking the roads right now. Nothing much to speak of at this hour of the day in Manatee County. So let's look farther south now in the northern half of Sarasota. Some issues there east of the interstate on Fruitville Road in the eastbound lanes. Out there by Oak Ford, perhaps, in the Moat Marine campus. They've got a second campus out there, a fish hatchery. Checking farther south now on the roads down in Sarasota County. Little slowdowns there on 41 in both directions around Warm Mineral Springs. Otherwise, all clear at 6:02. Developing overnight, Sarasota police are investigating a shooting in Newtown. Police say somebody was shot while sitting in their car near 23rd and Osprey. The victim's now recovering after being taken to Sarasota Memorial Hospital. And right now, police are searching for the shooter. This is a developing story, and we'll continue to follow it on our website at mysuncoast.com.
An update this morning, Sarasota police have seized 8 firearms, including an AK-47, from the man charged with shooting into a condo in downtown Sarasota. Now, those weapons were immediately seized for evidence following Ryan Flanzer's arrest on Saturday. And as part of the new red flags law, Sarasota police can now hold on to those weapons temporarily. Flanzer has a court hearing scheduled for May 18th where he can plead his case to get the weapons back. But if the judge rules in favor of the police, they can now keep his weapons for at least a year.
We have additional charges that are going to be placed on the individual. And again, we feel confident that we're doing everything we can under the law to keep our community safe and to keep this individual safe also.
Flanzer has been released from the Sarasota County Jail on bond. The chief there says the investigation into Saturday's shooting is still ongoing.
This morning overseas, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo is in North Korea, hoping to lay the groundwork for an upcoming presidential summit. This is his second trip there after secretly meeting with Kim Jong-un over Easter weekend. Pompeo's other goal is to press North Korea on releasing these 3 American hostages.
It would be a great thing if they are. We'll soon be finding out.
President Trump responding to whether the captives will be released. Still no official word yet from the White House regarding the status of the hostages, but according to the South Korean official, North Korea is expected to release the 3 men as soon as today. We'll let you know.
Hurricane season is just a few weeks away. Do you have everything that you need? Well, this week the National Weather Service and local agencies are hoping people use it to get ahead of the game this year.
Marla Spence is live with some tips now at the Emergency Operations Center off Cattleman Road. Marla, good morning.
Good morning, guys. The National Weather Service is asking people not to wait until the very last minute to prepare for hurricane season. The agency is also saying that it takes more than just buying water and food to prepare for the season. Now, all week long, NWS is focusing on what you can do to prepare and to get ready. Today, the focus of the National Hurricane Preparedness Week is flood insurance. If you haven't already bought a policy, They say now would be a great time to do so. Besides that, you should also make sure you have coverage to protect your home and also your car. This week, the National Weather Service is also offering tips on evacuation plans, how to protect and strengthen your home, and putting together a disaster kit. The emergency management chief for Sarasota County says you should have a family and individual supply kit ready and on hand for when a hurricane does strike.
We believe everybody should be prepared for a minimum of 72 hours. So you have a 3-day kit of supplies to last you for after the storm. It's better to have at least a week. We know we lost power in some cases for up to 11 days. So people need to put together a supply kit.
And in your supply kit, you should have items like canned food, bottled water, even money that's going to be locked up in a Ziploc bag. Now, Ed McCain with the Sarasota County Emergency Management Office says that you should have enough supplies to last you until after the hurricane is over, just in case the power goes out. Reporting live in Sarasota County, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Marla. Well, it's almost done. The new roundabout is expected to open next week at the intersection of Orange Avenue and Ringling Boulevard. Fingers crossed. The final details are wrapping up this week, including landscaping and road signs. Later this summer, an art installation by a local artist will be added to the center of that roundabout. This is one of several roundabouts the city has built already or is in the plans to make as well in this area.
Are you getting ripped off at the pump? A warning for drivers this morning. Those credit card skimmers keep showing up at the same area gas stations repeatedly. Recently, skimmers were found at a gas station on Holmes Beach, which has been targeted in the past. They were also found at 2 pumps at the Citgo on Gulf Drive.
Have master keys to these pumps, and they're able to come in, and sometimes they just are able to pop them open, and others of them they have the actual key for the pumps themselves.
It's a concern for everybody because they're obviously ripping credit cards off, and it's a major concern for America.
So what can you do to avoid falling victim to a gas station skimmer? Well, first, check the security tape on the pump. Make sure that it hasn't been tampered with. Second, pay inside instead of at the pump. And last, use cash instead of debit or credit cards.
This Friday is Dick Vitale's 13th annual gala to raise money for children's pediatric cancer research. Vitale has offered emotional and financial support to countless local young cancer patients. This morning, we meet a college student who has dedicated his life to helping young cancer patients.
When I was diagnosed at 2 years old.
Jake Taraska was just a toddler when his parents noticed balance issues. Doctors first thought it was an ear infection, but it wound up being something much worse, an aggressive cancerous tumor called neuroblastoma. Years later, knock on wood, he's healthy and has begun a foundation to support other kids going through what he did.
My perspective has always been much different than people my age, and I realized the importance of trying to help the kids that were going through what I went through. Because if I didn't get the support from the people around me, I wouldn't be here today.
Well, I think, Ray, it really catches you after a while when you're starting to hear and talk to parents that lose their children.
And to Jake, Dick Vitale's support was huge.
People like him are the reason why I'm here. He lives his life like he's 20 years old.
And speaking of 20-year-olds, this little kid that had trouble with balance is now a college baseball player while running his foundation and making a point to be kind to others. He says nearly dying before his 2nd birthday changes a person.
It makes me realize that everybody around me is going through something that I don't know about.
Do you think this whole thing has made you a better person?
Oh, absolutely.
The Vitale Foundation has given me several young folks to profile ahead of this gala, and I have so enjoyed this assignment. Jake Taraska, another hero, he's a college student now, and he had cancer at age 2.
Before his 2nd birthday diagnosed with.
Right.
And I love how they've all taken that experience and they want to give back and they want to help out others that might be going through it too.
Great story. 6:09 right now, still ahead. A much different cancer is in the news this morning as well.
Prostate cancer screening guidelines could be changing. We'll tell you what you need to know before your next doctor's visit. We'll have that for you before we come back.
Here's a look at the White House in Washington. Certainly a busy place yesterday. Well, that's actually Capitol Hill. Still busy there as well. There's the White House.
Also busy there.
Yes. That was the spot where President Trump announced that the U.S. is pulling out of the Iranian nuclear deal. More on that story later in the hour.
That's right. Back here on the Suncoast, what is our day going to look like, John?
Yeah, pretty nice, I'd say, for the kids going off to school. Excellent. No rain in the forecast, obviously. We have plenty of sunshine out there. It'll be a warm one again. Coming home, 90. Heading off to school, 68. Clear and dry both times. Sunny in the afternoon. 10 out of 10 chance of an outside recess. We'll have the chance of weekend rains back in the forecast, though, and we'll talk about that coming up in a few.
Chris Domine is a husband, father, an athlete, even an Ironman. But 10 years ago, Chris's kidneys were failing.
The doctor said if you don't do dialysis, if you don't get a kidney transplant, you are going to die.
Then Chris received a second chance, made possible by an organ donor.
Your well-being changes from loss of hope to better times ahead.
Imagine what you could make possible. Learn more and sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do-it-yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
I was always worried and scared. Mom was in pain. She wasn't going to get any better, and all the trips to the ER were painful for all of us. Then we called Tidewell Hospice, and everything changed. Now she has care in our home when she needs it, surrounded by family. We know we don't have much time left with Mom, but we decided to make the best out of that time. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
My California Closets experience has been wonderful. My mother's a huge inspiration. Before she passed away, she would say, you should do something special for yourself. First time I saw my closet, I immediately thought, this is the best thing I've ever done for myself. I call it my Tiffany style closet. I mean, I can shop in my own closet every day. I love that. My name is Cynthia, and this is my California Closets story.
My credit score was not that great.
I didn't understand what went into my credit score. It was overwhelming.
Do you want to attain better credit health but don't know where to start? Credit Sesame can help by providing you a free credit score.
I love the app. It's so easy to use. It's like having your own financial coach. Credit Sesame broke my credit score down into things that I understood, and it made me think, I can do this.
And the awesome thing about Credit Sesame, it's free.
It's 100% free.
You don't need to go it alone. Get started today at creditsesame.com.
A decade of war has taken an unprecedented toll on our men and women in uniform.
Hundreds of thousands of our veterans are suffering from the trauma of war.
At Justice for Vets, we believe that every veteran should have the opportunity for treatment and restoration.
Get involved and go to justiceforvets.org.
Help put treatment within reach of veterans in crisis.
Veterans fought for our freedom. Now it's our turn to fight for theirs.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
As we continue on with Hurricane Preparedness Week, we talk today about insurance. Again, we have spoken this week about finding your zone. And on my Facebook page, John Scalzi, ABC7, I've given you a link to find your evacuation zone, which is based on storm surge. Also today, on that Facebook page, give you a link to find your flood zone, which is different. And sometimes, and oftentimes with hurricanes, freshwater flooding is an issue. As you heard earlier in this newscast, now is the time to discuss with your insurance agent your needs and your policy coverage and whether or not changes need to be made, because when a hurricane's around, you can't make those changes any longer. So visit my Facebook page with those links and get to know your zone. As far as our forecast goes for today, we'll continue to watch temperatures rise to about 73 degrees by 9 a.m. Plenty of sunshine as we greet the day. Dawn breaks, and we're looking at pretty much wall-to-wall sunshine right straight through the afternoon as temperatures climb up to about 90. No rain in the forecast, low relative humidity. Afternoon sea breeze begins to form near the coast. Gets a little breezy as we head into the evening hours, but it's a dry breeze and it should feel very pleasant, I think, as we head into the evening. Forecast looking like this. Well, we did that. Right now we have a temperature of 65 degrees. We have a dew point value a little teeny bit higher than it was 24 hours ago, coming in at 61. East-northeast wind at about 6, and plenty of starshine out there, leading to a beautiful dawn. Easterly wind flow, northeasterly wind flow continues through the morning hours as temperatures continue to climb. Along the coastline as we head into the afternoon and temperatures move into the 80s, we'll start to see a little bit of a sea breeze form. And the sea breeze will be with us through the afternoon, becoming kind of gusty at times as temperatures climb up to near the 90 mark. And then as we head into the evening, temperatures will fall into the 80s and eventually drop down into the 70s and even into the 60s to greet you tomorrow morning. No rain. Fire danger indexes remain extremely high, very high we'll call it, in most of the viewing area. We even have some areas in Florida that are in the extreme category. So again, fire danger a problem. Air quality also, with all the sunshine that we get in a stagnant kind of air situation that we have. I mean, so stagnant we hardly get a cloud growing in the afternoon. We have to monitor the ozone. 97 is the current ozone reading in Sarasota, and once it hits 100, we start talking about how those with sensitive respiratory features might want to limit their outdoor exposure. So be aware of that, and you might want to consider that if you have a compromised respiratory situation. High pressure or dominant weather feature for us stays with us for several more days, providing us with that nice northeasterly wind flow, lower relative humidity, and just beautiful afternoons, warm afternoons. Now eventually this little trough of low pressure developing behind the cold front sinking southward, and that high, we're going to team up together to produce a southeasterly wind flow, which will increase our moisture as we head into the weekend and bring us a return of rain chances as we head into Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday actually as well. So sunny and warm today, breezy afternoon winds making it feel pretty comfortable. Today, expect a northwest wind at about 15, turning northeast at about 15 in the evening, moderate chop boaters. 90 today, about the same thing tomorrow and Friday. Friday, we start to get a little bit more moisture in here, noticeably so. I think still not uncomfortable, but noticeable. As we head into Saturday, humidity's back, and you'll notice it. 40% chance of rainfall then and on Sunday, and really the beginning of next work week as well, as that trough of low pressure teams up with increased humidity to bring us those afternoon rain chances. Back to you.
All right, thanks, John. Let's take a look outside to your first alert traffic out there. Starting off in Manatee County, roads are running pretty smooth in that area. Not too much to see at this time in the morning. All the roads are pretty congestion-free for the most part. No gridlock. At the top half of Sarasota County, those roads are looking well too. Even University Parkway, Fruitville, and Bee Ridge, which are typically the hot spots, are running pretty free this morning. And headed farther south in the area, those roads are looking decent too. A couple blips right there on 41, but nothing to take note of this morning. A little bit farther south, those roads are looking good as well. It is 6:18, and that is your first alert traffic. If you're a man between the ages of 55 and 69, your doctor may have told you that screening for prostate cancer causes more harm than good.
But now that's changing. ABC's Elizabeth Herr has the new guidelines for prostate cancer screening.
Prostate guidelines. It's hard to find a medical recommendation over the past 25 years that's caused such commotion. Those in favor of a blood test called a PSA argue that it helps early detection and cure of cancer. Those opposed point to false positives, evidence that many prostate cancers never spread, and list common surgery complications, including bladder control issues and erectile dysfunction. In 2012, the U.S. Preventative Task Force said the evidence was clear. PSA screening caused more harm than good, and universally recommended against it. Today, a small modification for men ages 55 to 69. In that age group, the most recent studies have shown some evidence that screenings can save lives, while some data remain unchanged. 1 in 5 men who undergo prostate surgery will have long-term urinary incontinence. 2 out of 3 men will have long-term erectile dysfunction. So new recommendations say for men ages 55 to 69, make an individual decision about screening with your doctor. For men under 55 or over 70, the study still recommends PSA testing. Don't bother. With this Medical Minute, I'm Elizabeth Herr, ABC News.
All right, 6:19, still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast.
A cold case reopened in Michigan. An excavation is underway on property just outside of Detroit. We are going to tell you exactly what they're looking for. Plus, Marla?
I'm live at the Emergency Operations Center in Sarasota County, where preparations are underway for hurricane season that'll be here in just a few weeks. What the county is doing differently this season than last season when Irma hit is straight ahead.
Should be another nice day today, a lot like yesterday and the day before. 90 for a high today, plenty of sunshine. You're watching Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Thanks to the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, what was once impossible is happening today for thousands of patients with blood cancer.
I live.
I live. I live. I live.
I live.
She lives.
Because of the research done by the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society in the battle against blood cancer.
If you had a chance to support the research that is saving lives, what would you do?
Everybody can make something, because I think everyone has a spark of creativity, and the reason that I have to keep making is because I don't think my life would be as fulfilling without it. If you make things yourself, that means you're not cowering in fear. You're out there taking chances. That, I think, is my way of saying I love you to the world. All right, now I want to hear why you make.
Share your own Why I Make story today. Visit whyimake.org.
Designers do it with style.
Tell me what's going on here.
Why, you don't like my hair?
The Mark and Mandy Show. In-depth design ideas.
What is up with the tuck tape here? Let's cover it up.
Amazing beauty and fashion tips.
So Halle Berry has amazing skin. Her secret is coffee grounds. No.
Delicious recipes.
Today, I'm gonna show you a special dish that is sure to please that special someone in your life.
Watch The Mark and Mandy Show right here on your favorite channel.
There's a lot of fear in coming back to school. I'm a 40-year-old man that walked in there to get his high school diploma. It was very hard for me, but one of the teachers was Miss Araceli. She gave me direction. Every single time I had a question, she'll put down whatever she's doing and she'll sit there with you until you get it. 50% of getting your high school diploma is walking through those doors. The other 50% is doing the work.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Who else has been taking your prescriptions? Keep your medicine and your family safe and secure. Mind your meds. To learn how we can help, visit the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids at drugfree.org.
Welcome back, 6:23, and take a look at this. A ton, yes, you heard that right, a literal ton of marijuana was seized by the Coast Guard, worth an estimated $2 million. This photo that you're looking at right now was actually taken in St. Pete. About 80 Coast Guard members were sent on a 71-day deployment to seize and intercept drugs circulating in international waters in the Caribbean. 7 suspected drug smugglers were arrested, as well as taking in this giant haul.
Boy, a productive project in that one.
Wow. A cold case reopened. Investigators are returning to a farm in Michigan today as they search for the remains of up to 6 girls.
ABC's Eva Pilgrim has the story.
In this morning's GMA First Look, investigators in Michigan think they have discovered the burial site of an alleged serial killer. With the help of the FBI, police are searching this wooded area for the remains of up to 6 young girls, some missing for almost 4 decades.
So in the 80s, this was what, woods?
All woods, farmland. There was nothing out here back then, nothing.
This empty open field, once hidden in the woods, now the center of this investigation. And it's not the first time investigators have been here. Authorities say in 2008, this man, 68-year-old Arthur Ream, led police to this same land.
All she had to do was go up North Avenue, and it's right there.
And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll have the latest on the investigation. With your GMA First Look, I'm Eva Pilgrim, ABC News, Macomb County, Michigan.
To most people, I look like most people. But on the inside, I feel chronic, widespread pain. Fibromyalgia may be invisible to others, but my pain is real.
Fibromyalgia is thought to be caused by overactive nerves. Lyrica is believed to calm these nerves.
I'm glad my doctor prescribed Lyrica.
For some, Lyrica delivers effective relief for moderate to even severe fibromyalgia pain and improves function. Lyrica may cause serious allergic reactions, suicidal thoughts or actions. Tell your doctor right away if you have these, new or worse depression, unusual changes in mood or behavior, swelling, trouble breathing, rash, hives, blisters, muscle pain with fever, tired feeling, or blurry vision. Common side effects: dizziness, sleepiness, weight gain, swelling of hands, legs, and feet. Don't drink alcohol while taking Lyrica. Don't drive or use machinery until you know how Lyrica affects you. Those who've had a drug or alcohol problem may be more likely to misuse Lyrica.
With less pain, I can do more with my family.
Talk to your doctor today. See if Lyrica can help.
Hi, I'm Chef Alan, Chef Bob here, both from Public Apron's Cooking School. Bob, what are you making today?
I don't know, Alan. This is going to be pretty amazing here. We're going to make a pineapple blueberry delight. Check this out. I've made a lot of desserts, but this one's pretty cool. We're going to use Cool Whip, cream cheese, Jell-O, blueberries, little pineapple tidbits, and these nice praline pecans.
Love them.
Check. So what we do is we take the praline pecans, you grind them up, a little bit of butter, you put them in your springform pan. And then you take cream cheese, soften it up with a little, I put a little vanilla and powdered sugar in, and then you add a little, love this stuff, man, Cool Whip. All right? And what you have there is you have this cool stuff here. So I sprayed this, so this will come out later. So that's what this is here. So you kind of put this into here, like so, and you kind of mush that around. That's a culinary term, mush. And what you want to do with this is you take this, you put it in the refrigerator and let it set pretty good, because we're going to put something else on top that I've never used before. And I honestly mean this, and I had to read the instructions. Jell-O. I know, I've never used it before. Jell-O, you just take the Jell-O, a little bit of a hot, just get it hot. I put a little blueberries and pineapple in there, and then let that cool a little bit. Don't let it cool too much, and you kind of pour that right on top of here. And then what you do is you take this, you kind of mix it. The one I made looks much better than this, trust me. So you kind of let this mix around, let it sit in there for overnight, and then you take it out, you slice it up. I put a little strawberry sauce on it, some more blueberries on it, lipstick all over it, and maybe a Snickers bar or something, I don't know, good stuff.
I think it looks great, Bob. Thanks a lot. Starting tomorrow, be sure to stop by your Public Apron Simple Meals kiosk to pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients for this delight.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
My California Closets experience has been wonderful. My mother's a huge inspiration. Before she passed away, she would say, you should do something special for yourself. First time I saw my closet, I immediately thought, this is the best thing I've ever done for myself. I call it my Tiffany style closet. I mean, I can shop in my own closet every day. I love that. My name is Cynthia, and this is my California Closets story.
Rugs as Art. You know the name, you know the building, but do you know what's inside? Yes, Rugs as Art is Florida's #1 area rug superstore. But there is so much more. A amazing furniture, accessories, and art. All this and more. Come see for yourself. You'll love our personal touch and be pleasantly surprised by our affordable prices. Rugs as art and more. There is so much more to explore.
About every 3 minutes in America, someone is diagnosed with a blood cancer. Light the Night brings together survivors and supporters to bring light to the darkness of cancer and to help fund life-saving research. Our goal is a world without blood cancers, and we're lighting the path to cures. The discoveries made in blood cancer research have led to breakthrough treatments for many cancers and other serious diseases. Help defeat the darkness of cancer. Join Light the Night today.
Northland Outdoors is about so much more than the biggest fish or the hottest hunting spots. All across the Northland, there are amazing people with incredible stories to tell. We're going to find those stories and share them with everyone. Join us each and every week as we explore the Northland and experience some of the most exciting outdoor adventures in the country right here in our own backyard. This is Northland Outdoors.
Hey kids, come learn baseball from the pros. The Bradenton Marauders are hosting Baseball Camp on June 5th, 6th, and 7th at Lecom Park. Boys and girls ages 6 to 14 will learn the fundamentals of hitting, pitching, and fielding from Marauders coaches and players at Lecom Park. Your camp fee includes a t-shirt, lunch daily, and 1 ticket to the Marauders games on these nights. To sign up, go to BradentonMarauders.com by May 14th. Sponsored by ABC7, your Suncoast News. Get breaking news alerts focused on the Suncoast. Download the ABC7 News app.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
You're watching Good Morning Suncoast at 6:30.
This morning, Mike Pompeo, Secretary of State, is in North Korea. We're going to hear about his 2 main goals, and that includes an update on the American hostages.
And it's Hurricane Preparedness Week, what you can do right now to stay safe if the storms come back to the Suncoast. Good morning, folks. 6:31. Welcome back. It's Good Morning Suncoast. I'm Ray Collins.
And I'm Stephanie Webb. Thanks for waking up with us this morning. You are in store for another beautiful day, almost a carbon copy of yesterday, right, John?
Yeah, I think just about. Few subtle differences. We're starting off just a tad bit cooler, and we'll probably finish it up just a tad bit more humid. But for the most part, and unless you're paying attention to that, you're not going to notice it because ostensibly everything is going to seem about the same. Cooper and Central Sarasota coming in with 66 degrees. Becky and Omayaka, long-term weather watcher, comes in with 58 degrees there. Dry as a bone across the state. The fire danger indexes continue to rise. So too does the air quality index, especially for ozone. That's the major pollutant in the air quality index of 97 today. We have a satellite view which shows the effect of a big ridge of high pressure across the state. That is sunshine. That'll be the name of the game again today. Temperatures, 65 Sarasota, 63 in Bradenton. Arcadia, 63. Inglewood and Venice both coming in at 67. Top it out today about 90 with a 0% chance of rain. That will not be true over the weekend as rain chances return to the forecast. We'll discuss that in a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, talk to you soon. Thank you, John. Checking first alert traffic now in Manatee County. Not much to speak of so far. A little build up there on State Road 70 in the eastbound lanes on either side of 301. Checking farther south now into the upper half of Sarasota County. Fruitville Road, some issues there. Eastbound around McIntosh in front of Cardinal Mooney, and also east of the interstate as you head out toward Oak Ford. Otherwise pretty clear, and checking farther south, some small delays there on 41 southbound as you enter into Charlotte County. 6:33 right now on your Wednesday morning.
And developing overnight, Sarasota police are investigating a shooting in Newtown. Police say somebody was shot while sitting in their car near 23rd and Osprey Avenue. The victim is okay and was taken to Sarasota Memorial Hospital. Right now, police are still shooting for the person. This is a developing story, and we'll continue to update you on our website, mysuncoast.com.
New details this morning on that pedestrian who was struck and killed yesterday at this hour on Longboat Key. Florida Highway Patrol says not one but 2 cars struck and killed 85-year-old Warren Roberts. He was crossing Gulf of Mexico Drive near the Whitney Plaza. The driver of the first car was taken to the hospital for medical treatment.
Disappointed parents this morning in Manatee County as a district has to find a new way to pay for school safety. Yesterday, commissioners voted against more funding for school resource officers. The county's current contract with the Manatee County School District is about $900,000, which will remain as is. The district asked the commission to help pay for an additional 31 officers to help keep the schools safe. But board members say they simply don't have the money and don't want to ask taxpayers for it either.
So you have the same officer in the building. They build relationships with the principals, the assistant principals, with the teachers, and more importantly with the students and the parents. And we wanted to continue that. We've seen how successful that has been in our middle schools and the high schools at the secondary level, and we wanted to do that at the elementary.
Now the district says the board, the Manatee Sheriff, and the city police chiefs will have to brainstorm some other options.
New details this morning on plans to close the road that cuts through the center of the Sarasota High School campus. The school district wants to close School Avenue to all cars, pedestrians, and bikers from 6:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. Right now, the area of School Avenue is blocked off to cars during the day, but anybody else can walk or ride through the campus. Well, both sides came out last night in force to City Hall, supporters and opponents of the move. Here's one student's comment last night.
There are gates at the end of the streets. I don't feel safe walking across the street that any individual could walk across as well.
So now the school district and the city commission have begun formal discussions, but no decision has been made quite yet.
Well, we are just a few weeks out from the start of this year's hurricane season. Are you and your family ready? This week is National Hurricane Preparedness Week.
Marla Spence is live from the EOC off Cattleman Road in Sarasota County. Marla, let's hear some tips.
Yeah, good morning, guys. The National Weather Service and Sarasota and Manatee counties are asking you to start now with preparations for hurricane season that'll be here in just a few weeks. Now, residents are not the only ones preparing, but so are both counties. I spoke to Ed McCrane, who is the emergency management chief. He tells us Sarasota County is implementing new ways to prepare and to keep its residents safe. He says Hurricane Irma last season helped him to identify what those changes should be. He says this season there will be 11 evacuation centers that will open all at the same time, and those centers will be mostly Sarasota County schools, and all of them will be pet friendly. In addition to that, there will also be 3 shelters for people with medical needs, and those people would need to register. He says during Hurricane Irma, there were 800 people who did not register in enough time for the medical needs shelter, which put them in some major stress. And one more last change for this season will be added transportation plans for those who just can't get to an evacuation center.
We will have a series of rally points set up at city, county, and school board buildings throughout the county where people can go to, and they'll be taken by either a SCAT bus or a school bus to the nearest evacuation center.
And if you can't get to those rally points, Sarasota County will actually have someone come out to your home and pick you up. All you have to do is register through the county, and that registration will be cut off 60 days before a hurricane. Reporting live in Sarasota County, I'm Marla Spence for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thanks, Marla. Right now, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo is in North Korea. This is the second time that he's been there since April. This morning, he has 2 main goals to accomplish. John Lawrence explains exactly what those are.
Secretary of State Mike Pompeo landed in Pyongyang Wednesday local time. His goal, planning a summit between President Trump and North Korean leader Kim Jong-un.
We think relationships are building with North Korea. We'll see how it all works out. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. But it can be a great thing for North Korea, South Korea, Japan, and the entire world.
Pompeo's second trip within 6 weeks came after an invitation from North Korean officials. But there's more than just setting up a sit-down.
Are the Americans coming home, Mr. President?
We'll all soon be finding out. We will soon be finding out.
The 3 detainees are accused of hostile acts or espionage against the North Korean regime, and Pompeo is expected to bring them back, according to a South Korean official. Relatives of the detainees are hoping for the best.
It's very stressful. As time goes, I think it slowly wears you down more.
Kim says he appreciates the efforts from the Trump White House and hopes Secretary Pompeo is able to bring his father back.
This is encouraging on a lot of fronts.
I still think the Kim regime is trust but verify, and we have to treat them that way, but it's hard to look at this as anything other than a real positive, especially for the families that are waiting for their people.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
North Korea has released one American detainee during the Trump administration. That, of course, was Otto Warmbier. He came back to the U.S. in a vegetative state and died days after his return.
6:39 right now. The city of Sarasota is taking action to help reduce our impact on the environment. It's all part of Compost Awareness Week. Thank you for the card, Stephanie. The city's sustainability team and staff from local nonprofit Sunshine Community Compost are working now with 3 local restaurants. They include Libby's Cafe, Louis Modern, and the Muse. They all have the same owners, by the way. They will be supplying 5-gallon buckets and training kitchen staff on how to collect pre-consumer food scraps. At the end of the week, the buckets will then be transported to One Stop Landscape and Supply, where those food scraps will be composted into rich soil.
Beginning today, a popular Sarasota arena is getting a major renovation. The Sailor Circus Arena has been completely gutted, and it is ready for those renovations. Some of those include air conditioning, seating for 1,500, new flooring, restrooms. The ceremony to celebrate it will take place this morning at 10 o'clock at the current site of the arena on Bay Vista. Still to come on Good Morning Suncoast.
Governor Scott is back in the area where he'll be today and what he plans to talk about while he is in southern Sarasota County. Speaking of politics, here is a look at your U.S. Capitol. Pretty start to the day in Washington right now.
Beautiful start to the day out there as well. We're liking that. So what's the weather going to look like here on Suncoast, John Scalzi?
Looks pretty good. We're getting up to another warm day today. By 9 a.m. we'll hit the 70s. And then as we head into the afternoon, well above average, coming in around 90. No rain in the forecast. Low relative humidity, should feel pretty comfortable. Drive time forecast, no inclement weather boxes checked. Heading out the door, it's going to be in the upper 60s. Heading home at night, it'll be in the mid 80s. And a nice little breeze will be blowing at that time. All airport hubs running on time, according to the FAA. We'll be back with your forecast, including weekend rains, in just a minute.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do-it-yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
I heard about the Dotoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was. I can tell you that you will not find a finer, more professional team of clinicians anywhere in the world.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
Experience the Classical Music Celebration May 11th and 12th at the historic Sarasota Opera House. World-class musicians include guitar duo Charisma, currently touring with Andrea Bocelli. Tickets available online or by phone.
Since 2004, Embracing Our Differences has used the power of art and education to promote diversity. One way it accomplishes this is through its annual outdoor exhibition of 45 billboard-sized works of art, each accompanied by an inspirational quote. Join us in creating a community that is inclusive for all, where differences are embraced and individuality is celebrated. We invite you to celebrate the voices and visions of diversity and inclusion at this year's exhibit at Sarasota's Island Park.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we're looking at a temperature that by 9 a.m. comes in at 73. Then as we head into the afternoon under plenty of sunshine, low relative humidity, and just a beautiful, beautiful sunny sky, we'll hit 87 degrees by noon. By 90 degrees by 3 p.m. And at that time, we'll start to see the sea breeze beginning to form. It'll be blowing kind of breezy through the afternoon. And as we head into the evening hours, that breeze still blowing and low relative humidity will drop our temperatures down into the mid to lower 80s. So it should be a very pretty sunset as well today. Forecast right now, well, we're looking at a 65-degree temperature and a dew point coming in a little warmer at 61 with an east-northeast wind. And the forecast calls for that east-northeast wind to stay with us right straight through the morning into the early afternoon before it switches near the coast to a more northwesterly wind. Across the nation, we've got storminess in the center part of the country. That'll be true for 2 days. This storminess could develop into severe weather as that low-pressure area moves eastward. High pressure stays fast over the Florida Peninsula, though, directing our winds out of the northeast, drawing down that drier air, making for a pretty nice day today and for the next several days with sunshine driving temperatures to above average. Frontal boundary, you saw that in the satellite picture earlier on, has this line of clouds out in the Atlantic. It's really not a player in our weather yet. It'll end up leaving a trough of low pressure behind out in the near Atlantic waters and through the Florida Straits. Now, eventually, over the weekend, we'll start to see that trough begin to lift a little bit further to the north over the state of Florida. And that high pressure ridge kind of moving out into the Atlantic. When that happens, we'll return moisture to the forecast. So for today, sunny and warm, breezy afternoon winds, pretty nice winds actually, making it feel pretty comfortable, and then rains this weekend. Here's another way to look at the situation. If you think about the amount of moisture in the atmosphere that's available to produce rains right now across the peninsula, we have very dry air in place. But that little trough of low pressure down to the south of us is creating a humid environment out in the Atlantic. Well, for today, for tomorrow, for even Friday, that dry air stays in place over the state of Florida under the influence of that high pressure ridge. But eventually that high moves out into the Atlantic and our winds start to shift a little bit further to the southeast. And when that happens on Saturday, we start to change things and draw humid air back into the picture. That brings us that chance of rain with a little daytime heating and that little kicker in the atmosphere we call the trough. Those things together lead to that 40% chance of showers you'll see reflected in the extended range forecast. So not much going on for us through this period, but today and tomorrow in the center part of the country, storminess will be an issue, as well as thunderstorm activity that could lead to severe weather. For us today, boating, nice weather, northwest wind at 15, becomes a little bit more northeast during the evening, switching back to the east overnight and becoming a little lighter toward dawn. 2-foot seas, moderate chop, water temperature now 77. The tidal information at 10:08, high tide, low tide at 3:53, and another high tide at 8:30. Forecast looks like this. We'll have a daytime high today at about 90, and then as we head into the next couple of days, we'll have a forecast high that remains about the same under plenty of sunshine. Should you be just beautiful out there. As we head into the weekend, we'll start to notice a spike in that humidity, and the rain chances begin to be put back into the forecast, and that'll carry us right into the beginning of next work week with a 40% chance of rain each afternoon. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, John. Let's take a look at your first alert traffic. Starting out in Manatee County, starting to see some slowdowns like we normally do in the mornings. 41 running southbound is starting to get very slow right as you pass by State Road 64. Also 301 as you pass by 64 is also starting to get a little bit more congested this morning. Heading into Sarasota, the top half of the county still looking pretty decent. Starting to see a couple of those normal hot spots that we always see around this time of the area. Coming off of 75 onto University Parkway, Fruitville, and Bee Ridge. All of those areas are starting to get slowed down right about now. If your commute is going to be taking a little bit farther south in the area, both 75 and 41 are running pretty smoothly southbound. Those roads are pretty decent right now. It is 6:48, and that is your first alert traffic. Well, Well, happening today, Governor Rick Scott is going to be headed to the Suncoast today. He's going to be highlighting the second proposal of his Make Washington Work plan, which is going to require a 2/3 vote of each House of Congress to approve any tax, fee, or new increase before it become law. He's going to be making the announcement at PGT Innovations in North Venice around 3:30 this afternoon. New this morning, just one day after President Trump announced that he's going to withdraw from the 2015 nuclear agreement, Iranian lawmakers set fire to the American flag and a copy of the nuclear agreement to protest. Lawmakers there also reportedly chanted, quote, "Death to America," during an open parliamentary session. Now, Trump called the deal defective and doesn't feel that it would keep Iran from developing those nuclear weapons. However, the president says he is willing to work on a new deal.
6:49 right now, still ahead. Your top 7 before 7.
And that, of course, includes a look at your first alert weather and traffic as we get you ready for the day.
Oh, a pretty shot there. I believe from Brooklyn looking back toward Manhattan right now, 54 degrees there. They should see a high of 72. Beautiful shot there. That is the East River. And you're watching Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7.
Excuse me a minute. Hi, Dad. No, don't try to get up.
Hi, I'm Julie, a right-at-home caregiver. And if I'd been caring for Tom's dad, I would have noticed some dizziness that could lead to balance issues. That's because I'm trained to report any changes in behavior, no matter how small. So Tom could have peace of mind.
We'll be right there. We have to go.
Hey, Tom, you should try Right at Home. They're great for us.
The right care, right at home.
Many websites selling medication may look professional and legitimate, but the vast majority of sites selling prescription drugs are doing so illegally. Criminals use websites to sell counterfeit medications that may contain life-threatening toxins. Dot Pharmacy is a website verification program that helps you identify safe and trustworthy online pharmacies. Purchasing medicine online can be safe and easy. Just look for pharmacy to the right of the dot in website addresses.
You now have the power to prioritize your Facebook feed and get local news and information from the team you trust. Go to the ABC7 Sarasota page on Facebook. Give us a like, then click following and choose See First. That's it. Customize even more by choosing notifications. Choose breaking news, posts, live videos, anything you want to see in real time. Take control of your newsfeed and stay connected to what's happening in your community with ABC7 on Facebook. Are you a food lover, restaurant goer, or home cook? Then check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, and helpful step-by-step videos. And you'll love the restaurant guide with direct links to your favorite Suncoast eateries. Whether you're cooking in or dining out, whet your appetite with tasty tips from Chef Judy at mysuncoast.com/dining.
Imagine a world filled with pillow fights, playgrounds, and the search for the perfect climbing tree. Every kid deserves that world, but 1 in 5 kids in America struggle with hunger. At No Kid Hungry, we're committed to creating a world where every kid eats healthy food every day. We raise funds, we help families, and we lift up communities.
I'm Anne. I'm a scientist.
Recycling takes a team.
Why don't you let me and me help you out?
Everyone plays a part. Don't trash
I love taking stuff apart and building new things out of it.
what could be treasure.
Pal's my most advanced android. This is awesome. You haven't seen anything yet.
Give your cardboard box another life. Recycle.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
ABC7, the Suncoast's official Florida lottery station.
Coming up on Good Morning America, YouTube and your kids. GMA takes a closer look at restricted mode to see those parental controls and do they really work? Well, it is 6:53, and here are the top 7 things that you need to know before you head out the door today at 7.
Starting with John Scalzi's First Alert forecast.
Thank you, guys. Okay, here's what you need to know. Next 3 days, warm, sunny, and dry, followed by rains returning this weekend. Your out-the-door forecast. Take your sunglasses and your sunscreen. You're going to need it because the UV index is high. We'll be looking at warm, sunny conditions today. Breezy afternoon winds. Temperature currently 65 degrees, rather. And don't forget, you can follow the forecast anytime with the First Alert Weather app or at mysuncoast.com and on social media. Back to you.
Thank you, John. Number 2, checking traffic. Some buildup on State Road 70, particularly in the westbound lane around Lockwood Ridge Road. Number 3 now, Marla Spence, talking about hurricane preparedness in Sarasota County.
It's National Hurricane Preparedness Week, and the National Weather Service wants you to start preparing now for hurricane season. That'll be here in just a few weeks. They say you can prepare today by talking to your insurance agent and making sure you have flood insurance.
Thank you, Marla. Number 4 now, the search is on in Sarasota for the person who shot another person last night in Newtown near 23rd and Osprey. The victim was not badly injured.
And number 5, a Coast Guard crew in St. Pete seized a ton, yes, an actual ton of marijuana, all part of a recent mission in the Caribbean. They also caught 7 suspected drug smugglers.
Number 6, Sarasota Bradenton International Airport will turn purple today. Employees and the airlines will join cancer survivors to raise money for the American Cancer Society's Relay for Life. Kicks off today at 7:30 a.m.
And finally, number 7, excellent.
Good, nice.
Bill and Ted are back for another excellent adventure, almost 27 years after their last movie. Number 3 was just announced yesterday. Both Keanu Reeves and Alex Winter are both taking their new middle-aged show to a totally righteous level, dude. They're going to be back, and so Steven Soderbergh has signed on, so it's all a legit movie. It's going to be a good thing.
I wonder if they can do that again. I mean, it worked when they were in their 20s. It was funny.
Hey, it's
But
Keanu
now?
Reeves. He never ages.
And what about Alex Winter? Where has he been?
Waiting for Keanu Reeves to call him.
I bet he was. He's a trivia question.
There you go.
Keanu Reeves and the blonde-haired guy.
John said, you people are crazy.
Never saw.
You got to catch up now, all two. All right, sounds good. Well, it's going to be another excellent day out there. Thanks for watching. Good Morning America is up next.